Welcome again. Now, the marine environment harbors a lot of resources which are yet to be tapped in Nigeria, and that is why the talk globally today is about blue economy. Despite the fact that there's a lot of pollution happening in the marine environment, a lot of untapped resources are also inherent that can actually upgrade Nigeria's economy. And that is why a non-governmental organization, the Africa Marine Environment Sustainability Initiative, AFMESI, is championing the cause on how these resources that are yet untapped can be tapped to grow Nigeria's GDP. And we caught up with the president of the association, Dr. Felicia Mogo. She spoke to us on a number of issues, including her plans to ensure that this becomes a reality in the country. Hear her. All right, thank you so much for joining us. You're speaking to AIT. So you've been invited as a guest speaker to this event, and your topic is the role of hydrography in coastal zone management and environmental protection. What's the thrust of your paper, and what would you want to be the take home from there?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. Actually, I want to navigate around the topic by first of all defining what hydrography is all about. You know, the importance, as you know, hydrography has to do with development of, will I say, records, charts, you know, documents, scientific documents to study the entire water system, what we have in the water, you know, like the oceans, the rivers, and so on and so forth. The geographic information, kind of physical information. Those physical information will go a long way in determining the state of the marine environment and the coast when it comes to safety, and when it comes to wealth accounting, especially in this era of blue economy, where we have to give utmost respect to the marine environment if we must really achieve sustainable blue economy that is also inclusive. You know, so that's how I'm going to navigate around it. Then give examples of where you see hydrographical information working in action. You know, a lot of examples where it is used to predict a flood, and then we kind of give alerts for early warning. You know, where it is used to identify the resources in the ocean, in the marine environment, for example, and then be able to know how to protect them and how to even multiply them, you know, how to boost them. So when you use the hydrographic information to ensure that they are not disturbed, you know, so it will not lead, you have like food security when you talk about biodiversity. It also gives information on security. You know, when you have hydrographic information, you know the areas that are that could be prone to crime, especially in these days that there are so much of a blue crime, and so on and so forth. So the whole essence is actually to ensure that there is sustainable exploration and exploitation of the marine resources, you know, with accurate data. You know, so it won't be guesswork kind of, with accurate data. That's what it's all about.
All right, quite interesting. And I know you've worked in the marine environment sector for a very long time. And today we're talking about blue economy in the country. So let's find out exactly from you what the state of the marine environment in Nigeria is at the moment, and in Africa where your organization operates.
Actually, the state of the marine environment in Africa or in Nigeria has improved over the years. At least there is much awareness now on the need to have healthy marine environment, and most countries are now acceding to instruments of intervention, you know, in protecting the marine environment. Just like in Nigeria, we've acceded to most of that of IMO, international instruments of intervention, and they are being implemented, but not as if to say that we're already there. But you can see the enthusiasm, you can see that the awareness is already created, you know, so it makes it much more easier to believe that we'll get there, you know. And now, for example, Nigeria has also engaged in a blue economy, you know. We're now part of those countries, one of those countries that is now that is transiting from blue economy, that is business as usual in the marine environment, to sustainable blue economy. We have a ministry now, Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, dedicated to it, showing how serious the government is all about it. So when the necessary instruments to drive it are developed, you know, I believe that we'll get there. But for the fact that we have all this in place is very fulfilling to me and promising that we will really navigate to the safe shore eventually.
There are a lot of resources that are still yet untapped. So in AFMESI, what is exactly your target at realizing this goal?
As you may know, the African Marine Environment Sustainability Initiative, AFMESI, which is an NGO that I founded and I'm leading with so many volunteers and advisory council and so many partners. You know, at AFMESI, our core guiding principle is to nurture that environment, that marine environment that is safe for all, where the community dwellers, for example, are proud to be part of and are able to sort for, especially for most of them depend on it for their daily sustenance, for their disposable cash. They can freely get that there, you know, and where the country will also develop, and apart from including everyone in sharing the resources, you know, we can also generate GDP, you know, from it. You know, just like we have so many resources there, we have our mineral and we have resources, we have our biodiversity rich in fauna and flora, we have that, like the Arctic mangrove vegetation is second, you know, in the world, is the second largest in the world. So the thing there now is that it's not just to tap those resources, it's to ensure that we do them in a sustainable manner. And I believe that with the ministry in place and with what we are doing here today, now we have a hydrographic agency in Nigeria, you know, a journey that the Nigerian Navy started for some time. So with information, authentic information gotten by the hydrographic agency now, and sharing it with all the stakeholders, we will be able to manage and ensure the health of the marine environment and tap these resources in a sustainable manner to meet our need and also that of the future generation, and include everyone. No one is left behind.